On the Voice of Russia World Service, it's time for Culture Room.
Hello and welcome to the Culture Room. This is Alec Loon. Sometimes a great photo can change the course of history. One example of an iconic photo is Associated Press photographer Alexander Timnyanchenko's photo of Boris Yeltsin dancing at a rock concert during his 1996 re-election campaign, which was part of media coverage that convinced the Russian public that the president was healthy enough for another term and helped tip the election in his favor. The effect of iconic images such as this is really incredible when you think about it, how one ephemeral moment in time can be captured and amplified by the click of a shutter. On this episode about photojournalism in Russia, we'll take a look at the process that goes into making an image like this, as well as discuss some of the challenges and opportunities that photojournalists encounter in Russia. Here to discuss this topic with us today are Jeremy Nickel, a freelance photographer working in Moscow who has won the World Press Photo and Russia's Interphoto Awards, and Alexander Zemlyanchenko, chief photographer at the Moscow Bureau of the Associated Press, and the man who took that iconic photo of Yeltsin. Alexander, let's talk about that Yeltsin photo right off the bat. You won a Pulitzer Prize and a World Press Photo Award for that picture, but on the other hand, it had a major hand in tipping the election in Yeltsin's favor.
So many years ago, maybe I already forgot some details, but we were on a trip with Yeltsin, covering his re-election campaign in 1996. And once we had a stop in Russian South City, Rostov-on-Don. The most important thing this day, it was a rock concert in Rostov-on-Don, somewhere in the center of the biggest stadium. I already forgot the name of the stadium, of course. But we had, the central position as usually with long lenses waiting for the beginning of the concert, talking how it has to be done and what the opportunity to file our pictures right after the concert. But finally, they start to show the few person started to speak to people, to the big crowd. And then when Yeltsin finished his speech, rock musicians start to play, and at the same time, Yeltsin start to dance. A little bit moving, and then more and more. At the same time, I saw faces behind him. He's the chief of his bodyguards, Alexander Korzhakov, and somebody else. It was very unusual for them too to see. And of course we were, photographers, we were busy taking these pictures. But then we will look at each other, we never saw it before. And I can really say that we were happy that we saw our president, because I'm Russian, it was my president last time. And he shows him in a good condition, he tried to dance, he was smiling, and then he said some joke or something like that. I already don't remember it very well.
So when you take that photo, do you know right after taking it that it's a prize-winning photo? Jeremy, what do you think? When you take a certain photo, do you know right away if it's a good one or if it's a great one or if it's a delete?
It depends. I think sometimes, yeah, you do. There's, without question, the moment you take it, you don't even... now we all look at the back of the camera because we shoot digitally, but Sasha and I are both old enough we're used to shooting film, and even then there'll be times when you think, yeah, that's it, I've got that, for sure. Other times you won't know. There'll be other times you'll find something great in the edit that you weren't even aware of at the time, I think, consciously aware of. I think sometimes, photographers, they see things subliminally and they're not aware even that they've photographed it. There'll be some detail that makes the picture that quite often you must have seen it. That's what made you take it, and yet you're not really aware of it until later. But a picture like the dancing Yeltsin, yeah, I think the moment Sasha took that, you must have been sure you had something special.
Not only me. Many photographers were taking the same pictures. I don't know why.
How many people were there? Because yours is the one that's known.
Yeah, but at least 4 agencies, 4 photo services, AP, Reuters, AFP and APA, and freelance photographers, Itatas,
because it's
somebody else, Russian newspapers, foreign newspapers.
Well, yours must have had that certain je ne sais quoi, because that's the one that, is remembered.
As far as I remember, I saw some pictures, but some of us cropped the picture as showing only Yeltsin when he was dancing. Some of us, they used to send the wide-angle picture with all of artists.
Mm-hmm. You took a middle ground and had Yeltsin and then two girls dancing next to him, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the girls that make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a question of cropping, obviously, yeah. That's a
Yeah,
big
sometimes
part
it works.
The Culture Room, where art and society meet.